Hey, I'm Harry Mays, and I'm looking forward to watching Tanner McKee light up the Commanders this Sunday.
I'm Jason Martinez, and it's Super Bowl or bust, but sit 'em or start 'em.
Very well. Well, I got to get into what nobody else seems to be talking about. And this happened. Nick Sirianni threw Kevin Patullo under their proverbial bus. We'll talk about it in this edition of Locked On Eagles Squad Show.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's the Eagles Squad. Everything Philadelphia Eagles every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad Show starting now.
Welcome into Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez with you with Marc Farzetta. Hi, nice to see you. On the heels of the Philadelphia Eagles taking care of business, at least defensively, against the Buffalo Bills. And we got a whole lot to get to here. First off, we talk about Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo, the play calling, what needs to change there. Also, the in-tunnel antics of Nick Sirianni that warranted a stone-cold stare from A.J. Brown. Riding the Eagles defense, also talking about playing the starters or not playing the starters, and then the Pro Bowlers. We haven't gotten a chance as a squad show to talk about it. One snub, one surprise. So we'll break it all down on this show today. But first off, we all work on multiple platforms, all right? It's wild to me that Kevin Patullo being dimed out by Nick Sirianni after this Bills game hasn't gotten more of run. Now, I will say this. Immediately after the game, listening to the press conference, it sounded like it blended in with coach speak from Nick Sirianni more so than anything. But listening to it a second time, I went, whoa, what's that? Like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme or GIF where he's like, oh, right there. And
I'm not leaving.
He's asked, right, okay.
I'm not leaving. I just watched that the other night.
That's another one. And I guess that's Kevin Patullo as offensive coordinator, at least for right now. But so we speak in Leo gifts, basically. But I couldn't believe it. Nick Sirianni flat out said when asked about the problem in the second half, or he was asked about the play calling throughout the game, he said, I thought Kevin did a good job in the first half. And then in the second half, listed just about everything under the sun, including getting more involved and helping out the play calling process in the second half, especially really in the fourth quarter, more than anything, when your backs are really against the wall and you're getting absolutely nothing going at that point, perhaps get more involved and maybe get into the corrections. Then later in the press conference, Sal Palantonio, of course, ESPN, asked the question, well, what does that look like, Nick, when you want to get more involved with Kevin? Does it happen in the moment or after the game? And he's like, well, in a game, it's kind of tough when I see a play and go, no, to get involved and try to change anything. And I'm like, this is insane. This is the throwing under the bus, that tired expression, that is diming out, that is showing the cards that I never thought I'd hear from Nick Sirianni speaking about Kevin Patullo. But, Jason, that's what was said after the game.
I'm surprised that Nick would kind of own up to that a little bit and take some of the blame for the second half and say that he was involved because they went 5 plays, punt. 3 plays, 25 whopping seconds off the clock, punt. 3 plays, 2:12 off the clock, punt. 3 plays, 4 yards, $1.46 off the clock, punt. 3 plays minus 2 yards, minute 50 off the clock, punt. So not exactly a rousing resume for the people in the comments saying Nick Sirianni should take over the play calling because his influence, it helped a ton. Ooh, 3 in Out City.
Yeah.
It helped a lot for the kicker to not find his way to the Pro Bowl. Frankly, the kicker should be snapping the ball instead of Cam Jurgens at the Pro Bowl.
Well, real quick, do you realize that Braden Mann, the punter, is third in the NFL in punts? Did you know that?
He's one of the best I've seen.
Well, but no, I'm just talking about
number of punts. Okay,
he was
got you.
24th last year.
Well, he gets a lot of work on that leg. He's got a strong one.
Yeah. Number of punts. Sorry,
Wow. Wow.
He's got plenty of work.
Yeah. When you think about this offense,
Harry,
record,
I can't believe
think that he would have that many punts, but he does.
I can't believe, Harry, I heard what I heard after the game from Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I mean, I did not hear that at the time because we were probably doing the show on Locked On here, but I haven't heard that discussed this week, as a matter of fact. And I heard an audio cut driving home today from doing radio where Sirianni owned up to it and said the old Andy Reid, I got to do a better job, on this offense. So between that time and this latest, exposure to the media, maybe somebody higher up went to him and said the exact same thing you did, Mark. Like what? Like,
look,
Are you
we
still
got
driving
told
the
the
bus,
problem.
Nick? Because you ran him over with it the other day.
do your headphones work?
It's.
I don't think Martinez's headphones are working.
Are they not working, Jason? Oh, the bus. Oh,
We seem to be all like totally off. Like there's a delay or something.
Oh, I don't feel like I'm lagging. Am I lagging to you?
I'm gonna clap my hands. Tell me when you hear it.
I heard
when
it
you clapped.
before you actually clapped them.
Yeah, I did too.
It was like smack.
Yeah, technical difficulties potentially here at Locked On.
Oh.
It's windy.
Yeah, right. So the head coach of the football team acknowledged a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason, I know you're saying it tongue in cheek a minute ago, but Kevin Patullo ain't it. And if I hate to ruin the fantasy for some other people. I don't understand how he could get a head coaching job after this. I don't understand how you could get a head coaching job after you're the offensive coordinator of an offense that was one of the best in the NFL last year, excuse me. You take that over.
Mm-hmm.
You're a middle of the road type of offense. Your quarterback regresses. Your wide receivers regress. The running game's terrible. The offensive line ain't good. Like all those things coming into equation. You're going to look at Kevin Patullo all of a sudden. By the way, in the midst of it all, it comes out and is verified by the head coach that he has taken more of a responsibility doing what your job was supposed to be as an offensive coordinator. Like the dream ain't happening. He ain't going anywhere. He's staying put. So my question is, what do you do for the rest of you got one game left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just say, as Nick Sirianni, he's taking over the play calling? Do you say Nick Sirianni has taken over the second half play calling? What do you do from this point on? Because, Kevin Patullo is not going to get right all of a sudden, Harry, with one game left in the season against the Commanders, which, yes, by the way, your starters might not even play.
Yeah, and I don't know that Nick Sirianni is all of a sudden going to discover how to call plays either, because he wasn't very good at it when he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one of the problems when you hire an offensive coach who doesn't really call plays. Like when you lose faith with the guy who's calling plays, where do you go in the middle of the season? I mean, if we were joking about it today on the radio on the Fanatic, like maybe Jalen should just go out there. They shouldn't even call a play. Just go rogue in the huddle, and Jalen say, "Hey, you go to the lamppost, and do an in cut, and you know what I mean, like you're doing on an old schoolyard, and just go out and play and be athletes." It couldn't be any worse. I mean, they've had two halves this season, guys, where they didn't complete a pass. This past Sunday and one time earlier in the year, I forget which game. That hasn't been done since 1987 by a bad New England Patriots team. Yeah. Think about that. You're not completing a pass.
Yeah, people don't remember that the Patriots in the 80s were 40 years of dreck.
Well, after they made the Super Bowl in 85, they just went totally into the tank for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. With Grogan, I think, is the quarterback, if I recall, Harry.
Yeah, he was one of them. Yep.
But yeah, well, first of all, Kevin Patullo is not getting a head coaching job in the NFL, or I'm not hiring Bishop McDevitt. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't know what McDevitt's record is. I have no idea. But I'm not. Obviously, you're not hiring him to be a head coach. So how you manage that going forward is all that matters in the next year. But this year, what do you say, Mark? You don't say anything. You just do things behind the scenes. It doesn't matter what you say. You find a way to mitigate his weaknesses as best you can. Now, how do you do that is the question. Does Nick Sirianni calling plays mitigate Kevin Patullo's weaknesses? I don't know, because, again, I just ran through the plays in the second half when supposedly Nick Sirianni was having influence on the plays. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It was punt city. So is there another guy in there that look, I don't care what you say to the media or you say to the fans. Doesn't matter. Just get it right and figure it out behind the scenes so that when we see the team, we see the difference. And then maybe after the season, you say, well, this is what we did, and we're changing Kevin Patullo's role to whatever you change it to, because he's not going to get hired out of the organization, and I don't think that they're going to fire him. Or
but they're going to need another offensive coordinator next year.
Yeah, he'll be an offensive quality control coach, which is some of those BS
like
titles.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a demotion. I'd rather be fired. I'd rather be fired.
Yeah, we all know it's a demotion. It won't be termed that way or laid out that way, and they'll say, "In no way is this a demotion. We just think he's better suited, and the team's better suited to do this, and he can affect us better that way." Whatever. So it doesn't matter what they say. If I'm them, I don't say anything about it, and I do things differently behind the scenes because what you've done so far this season. I mean, the fact that you've done that twice in this season that hasn't happened since '87, as Harry said, is remarkable.
It's amazing.
It really is. It's almost like a tip of the cap. Like, wow, that's hard to do.
Yeah,
you managed it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is they won this past game because of the defense, and they won that Buccaneer game where they did it too.
Was that the game where it happened earlier in the year?
Yeah, they won that 31-25.
Oh,
they staked all those points in the first half. They did have a touchdown in the third quarter of that game, but it came via the ground.
Yeah. By the way, to add to it, Harry, it's the first team since 1982, the Bengals, to have under 20 yards of total offense in the second half in 2 different games this season. Think about that to add to your stat. And also this season, the Eagles have done it twice. Okay. The rest of the NFL combined this season have done it twice. Combined. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't think that Nick Sirianni is going to be any kind of savior. I just need him to be somewhat better than Kevin Patullo, and that doesn't seem hard because when you go back and you look at the second half and you watch the film on that, guys are in the same spot as receivers. There is either immediate pressure or no play to be made when Jalen gets to the top of his drop back. It's awful. It is completely debauched, this offense, and especially the way it was in the second half. And then you also think about some of the play calling that you see. They did the classic screen to Dallas Goedert with Devontae Smith blocking. Why, for the life of me, forget about even being fired. You should be allowed to be slapped one time. Just someone needs to walk over and say, wake up, like that kind of thing. Then the other was 3rd and 12. They run the football with 5 minutes. I think it was 5 minutes left in the game. 2nd and 12. They run the ball with Saquon Barkley up the middle as opposed to trying to, maybe throw for the first down.
Yeah.
At that point in the game against Buffalo, Jason, I'm looking at it going,
they just don't want to turn the ball over.
Well, not just that. They just want to keep the clock going. The only thing you can do in this offense in the second half of this game, apparently, and in the fourth quarter, the only thing you could do is not turn it over and burn clock. That is literally the least amount you could do as an offense. And to me, that comes down to the offensive coordinator. They could talk, players will always talk about execution. Good for them. But I didn't see anything there that made you go, oh, this is going to be what's going to jumpstart things.
Yeah.
It was absolutely pathetic. So look, to go back to the play calling and Nick Sirianni, for me, I don't think Nick Sirianni could be worse than what Kevin Patullo has done. And his authority, at least as a head coach, should outweigh whatever it is that Kevin Patullo will be doing throughout this season and for week 18 in the playoffs. The other part of it is we all are on the same page that Nick Sirianni as a play caller was not any good in like the 4 or 5 games he called plays in what was also the first 4 or 5 games he was a head coach in the NFL. So for me, I'd like to think that maybe he learned something from Shane Steichen. I'd like to think that maybe he learned something from Kellen Moore. And maybe, just maybe, he would do a better job of running the offense in the second half of games for at least the rest of this season, obviously, and the postseason.
You'd like to think that, yeah. Enjoy that.
Well, I mean, it's a low bar.
Yeah.
But
with the way this offensive line has been playing, though, it's almost like the play calls are kind of irrelevant because whatever they try to do, there was a Buffalo Bill defender in the backfield every play. Yeah. I mean, Saquon Barkley's not getting a 1-yard loss because he stinks. he's getting a 1-yard loss on first down because there's like 2 Bills on him as soon as he gets the handoff.
Yeah, because contact is 3 yards minus 3 yards first contact, and he's not even able to get to the line to get moving. And I agree with you, Mark, wholeheartedly that, okay, if you're not going to move the ball up and down the field in the second half, burning clock is essential when you're up 13-0 and your defense has been as good as they had for 2 reasons. One, obviously, you give the opposition less time, and you also give your defense the ability to recover.
Right.
But the Eagles couldn't even do that.
No, 3 and outs ain't burning clock.
Yeah, 3 and out with 25 seconds burn off the clock in the third quarter is not doing that. 3 plays, 2-12 burned off the clock, wasn't doing it. Right. And then when Buffalo, 3 plays again, 4 yards, minute 46, a minute 50. I mean, this is putrid management of a game. And that's one of the jobs of a play caller and the head coach, to not only execute the game plan and come up with the right game plan, but to manage the game properly. And the way their play calling was, I went back and looked at the play chart in the second half of the Tampa game. Oh, my God. Incomplete pass to Calcaterra, 2-yard run by Hurts, 7-yard sack, punt. These kind of things. What week was that? Week 3? Week 4?
4. It was early. It was in September. Yeah.
The Eagles went to 4-0, and we're sitting here now 17 weeks into the season, heading into the 17th game, week 18, and it's the same thing. Nothing has been remedied. Nothing has been fixed. Nothing has maybe it's been slightly acknowledged publicly now to kind of where you started, Mark. But I don't care about acknowledgement. The problem is apparent. Why haven't you found some solution that's not as bad as this one? I don't expect you to all of a sudden come out and have this, great play caller that's revolutionizing the game. Because that's not going to happen in season. But to be repeating the same mistakes and just putting the defense back on the field as they continue to bail your rear end out. Look, I've made the suggestion that they should dock a lot of the offensive players half their game pay and deliver it to the defense.
I think the union would have a little difficulty with that one.
Well, we need an offensive union versus a defensive union.
I get your sentiment. Thank goodness they have a good punter. Because I'm telling you, he was booming things 60, 65 yards routinely in bad weather the other night.
388? I think he had 388 yards, I think.
Total?
Are you
I believe so.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He's got a cannon for a leg, Harry.
He really does. Yeah.
Donkey leg is what he's got. He's got that donkey leg going on. All right. When we come back, let's get into not only the play calling, but we all have heard the expression of doing nothing on the group project and getting an A. Nick Sirianni's antics, Harry, spoke to that after the Bills win. We'll talk about that when we return. I'll take this first one, gentlemen. When we come back, Locked On Squad Show. Locked On Eagles Squad Show here in the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Back after this. Right now, I'm going to tell you about Gusto, ladies and gentlemen, why you need to take advantage of Gusto. If you haven't yet, boy, oh boy, it is a great time. Let's be real. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. That's what Gusto brings to the table. Gusto is an all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle or hidden fees. Unlimited payroll that runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. Gusto's automated tools like offer letters, onboarding materials, as well as direct deposit, save hours every week. And knowing you can reach certified HR experts anytime gives you real peace of mind that you need. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/lockedonnfl and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months free of payroll at gusto.com/lockedonnfl. That's gusto.com/lockedonnfl. Gusto.com/LockedOnNFL. Here's where I'm at, Harry, and I know this was something that was bothering you, and it bothered me as well. I'm all for being passionate, and I get that it's hard to win in the NFL.
Yep.
But the shot that John Clark got in the tunnel of Nick Sirianni coming up the tunnel at Orchard Park and screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering and all that, and then he passes A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown, I'll use the term because I don't think it's over dramatic, and I think it's on point, glares back at Nick Sirianni as if to look at him with the idea of, what the hell are you celebrating?
Are you serious, bro?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Nick just glares back and is like, I love this. And I'll say, this. I love this stuff. And then AJ, he looks like he cracks a smile, but it looks, someone told me they use the word forced. I think it's the perfect word for kind of forced a smile to cut the awkwardness. And then they walk into the locker room.
Yeah. It was a cringy moment.
Cringy moment is a great way to say it. It was a
cringy moment. And then I started thinking about it. This is what I talked about today on the radio, that they're filming this HBO thing, Hard Knocks, with these Eagles games. And I guarantee you there's an HBO camera catching him coming up the tunnel. And I'm thinking he's just playing to the camera, man. He's being a little bit of an actor here. Could that be?
Yeah.
I know he does this stuff. He does stuff that he's really hard to embrace if you're a guy like me because of this type of stuff. Okay, I acknowledge his great record. Sometimes I can't figure out how he's winning all these games. But he is, okay, and you got to give him a tremendous amount of credit for it. But then he does stuff like this, and I'm like, this guy's a douche. It's like douche behavior.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say, if I'm being real, I defended him in Kansas City with the see ya stuff, emotional game, all that stuff. I get it. I get that he's an emotional guy. I don't think any of it's fake. I think this is truly who he is.
He's very fiery and emotional, yes, and it's not fake.
But if you watch that and watched him walk off the field in Buffalo Sunday, if you watch that and didn't cringe, I don't know what to tell you.
After that second half,
it was awful.
Bro, just keep it low. Just get out of town. Go acknowledge how great your defense played and how much work that you and your coaches and your offensive players have got to do in order to win games in January, and get out of town and shut up.
Save your voice for the groveling you're going to be doing and a showing of gratitude to Vic Fangio. Save it for that, because that's why you won that football game. And if anything, I mean, you could obviously jump to the points. And the fact that you scored one touchdown as an offense, which is, as we all know, where Nick Sirianni is. He's on the offensive side of things no matter what. You want to tell me that you're going to run off the field after that kind of performance and how hard you made it on your defense, not just, again, because of the points, but because of double time of possession that the Bills had in the second half versus your offense. Yeah. Are you kidding me? You made your defense be out there for twice as long, and you're going to be running off the field celebrating? I mean, forget about it. That is not only the group project thing, again, to use this tired analogy also of, hey, I did nothing, but I got an A. Right. That's literally like stealing materials from your team members, from your group, and still getting an A.
Right.
I don't mind that as much. I really don't. And here's why.
Okay.
You should never have to apologize for having a great defense and they bailing you out. Now, it's happened too much this year, right? I'll use that for Harry. And since we're so close to 2026, I'll use a hockey analogy. You never apologize for good goaltending, where your goalie you get outshot.
He does everything but stand on his head.
Yeah, he does everything but stand on his head.
Right.
You win a game 2-1 that you got outshot 42-18.
Yeah.
The other 18 skaters didn't do anything. They looked awful. But your goalie stood. You never apologize for good goaltending. You don't apologize for great defense either. It is, after all, it is a team, and that is a part of the team. So I'm okay with that celebration, and because it is a big win. And what does it portend? Well, offensively, it doesn't portend, if we're looking at a micro level, great. But defensively, I look at a defense and I go, that's a defense that can win you the Super Bowl despite your offense.
Well, I think it's going to have to.
There's no question about that.
I think it's
dead right, Harry. Yeah, I mean, if you have any shot of even winning a playoff game at this point, the defense is going to have to be like that.
Yeah.
And I think I think the juxtaposition is kind of funny though, how Sirianni does go off the field like, as the the guy celebrating the win, and where's Vic Fangio sitting up in his climate control box as like this master puppeteer, not getting that same adulation. He's so out of the spotlight because he just doesn't care about that stuff.
No.
And the other guy does. And I love Vic Fangio, and I can't stand the personality of Nick Sirianni, frankly. But that's like the juxtaposition of it. But I don't have a problem with everybody celebrating a win because after all, it is a team sport, even though it is like two teams playing with the same jerseys with an offense and a defense. So I do agree.
I know you got into this as well a couple of times already, Jason. So I'll tee you up for it again. But you have been riding the coattails of the defense all season. I mean, really, especially since the trade deadline and Jalen Phillips got here, and he's obviously been an impactful player. And as a matter of fact, if you just look at the last 4 games, I saw these numbers. I want to share these with you, fine gentlemen, if I'm able to obviously open it here. But over the last 4 games, the Eagles are the best in the NFL with yards per game at 225.3. The most sacks in the NFL, 18, and yards per game allowed, 1.9. Or sorry, pass plays allowed per game at 119 per game over the last 4 games. Now, I will say, Commanders with a sprinkle of Josh Johnson in there.
Yep. Raiders.
Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. It's not a lot to brag about, but it does include the reigning MVP, Josh Allen, as well.
Yeah.
So that defense has been pretty damn good. Is it good enough to continue the trend, Jason, and carry this team to a Super Bowl?
Well, look, since the bye week, they've played 8 games. They're 5-3. They're averaging an average of 14.5 points per game.
Surrendering or scoring.
Yeah. And they're scoring 19.3, but they're only allowing 14.5.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 80s Bears numbers.
Yeah.
This is 46 defense, 1991 numbers. I mean, these are, and 8 games, pretty big sample size. So you can just get the offense to be competent. I'm not asking for last year because that was magical. Then, it's a Super Bowl team.
So what's competent? 20 points?
I think we said it on the postgame show, Harry. I think you kind of nailed the number. If the offense can score 17 points, this defense will give them a chance to win.
But,
now I'd like to see 20.
Yeah, but at Ms. Aveline 6 points out a really good question here, or a point. What if the defense has an off game?
Yeah.
Well, they have a bad night.
Yeah, well, that's why last year was special, because if the defense had an off game, the offense was still prolific.
Right.
And if the offense was off last year, the defense was still great.
Yeah.
And that's what it took to be a champion, I guess.
As far as play callers, I mean, the Niners quarterback or head coach is one of the best play callers. McVay's another great play caller and play designer. The guy in Green Bay, the coach, is a pretty darn good offensive mind. Last time I checked, even though his team has lost 3 straight. I don't know what they're doing up in Seattle because I've only seen him play once, and I don't still believe in Sam Darnold for some reason. Maybe that's on me. But Ben Johnson's a pretty doggone good coach too. With what he's done with this Chicago Bears team and that young quarterback, I mean, you're up against the best of the best as far as offensive, play design. So this defense is going to be they're going to have to play their best in order to minimize, these teams from scoring more than 20 points.
Yet part of that, though, Harry, is the fact that they went up against McVay already this season.
Yeah, and they blocked 2 field goals. So it was like a fluky kind of win.
Well, the defense also allowed 24 points in the first half. The Eagles defense.
Yeah.
So it's actually when you said when the question was asked, and it's legit. Well, what happens when the defense has an off day?
That was kind of off.
I'd like to say, I'd like to say that I just have all the confidence in the world that the offense will do exactly what they did to pick up for the defense, like they did in the second half against the Rams. But also, special teams had a huge say in that matter as well.
Yeah. I mean, can you count on Jalen Carter blocking another kick? Maybe. I mean, they've been doing it. He did it.
Lost an extra point last week and won the game.
I mean,
Yeah.
Or Jordan Davis.
By the way, off topic, I got to bring it up though, because I was wondering why all of a sudden it went from 18 seconds to 8 seconds on the
10-second runoff.
Yeah, the old
right.
10-second runoff.
It took a minute. So the referee, before the 2-point conversion attempt, the referee called it a touchdown, but it was really down at the 1, and they went to review. So there's a 10-second runoff. If the referee doesn't call it a touchdown, I mean, they'd probably just run the tush-push again anyway and punch it in. But if there was, let's say, 9 seconds left on the clock, they could lose the game on a 10-second runoff at the 1-inch line.
Well, they would have used their timeout.
They had a timeout.
They had a timeout.
So they can use the timeout.
Use it initially anyway was befuddling.
I don't know, because I guess he didn't want the Eagles to get the ball back with 10 seconds left or something. I don't know.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. That was a wild sequence,
and they still got the ball back.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That would have been a wild way to lose the game if you're Sean McDermott. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was all real sloppily kind of handled, I think, by both coaches in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and I talked about it. I wouldn't have gone for the 2 if I was.
Oh, really?
No.
I know.
Why not?
He said no. I had no problem with it because I think he just didn't want them to go and have to play an extra 6, 8, 10 minutes, whatever it is, with the playoffs around the corner, the bad weather, the whole deal. I mean, I know the Eagles weren't moving the football, and maybe Buffalo can kick a field goal in overtime and win the game, but I think that's the reason why he did it, and the play was freaking there to be made. Josh Allen, and Ricky Batalico brought this up, he thinks that the effect of the Eagles' defense, what they were doing to Josh Allen the entire game, kind of got in his head, and he was sort of like a little gun shy, or he started hearing ghosts because there was nobody really close to him, but he acted like he was under duress, even though he wasn't, and he rushed the pass and threw a bad pass.
That's the cumulative effect of a good pass rush.
Yeah, and I think there might be something to that.
I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
He had, so they did have some pressure on that. Fangio called it pseudo pressure, but it was pressure. They had Cooper DeJean come in off the left side. Which was the first step for Allen to start moving to his right. Then in kind of like a wave, Jalen Phillips came in, then Jalen Carter came in. And by the time Carter really got a step in the backfield, I think that's when shell-shocked all hell broke loose in Josh Allen's mind. And that's where he let the ball just go way too early and pulled it. So, I mean, I do agree he looked shell-shocked. I mean, he was pressured 11 times in that game.
Yeah.
It was,
they
were
harassed
in his
him.
head.
They harassed him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. He was so indecisive on many instances in that game where he was going to throw it, then he's going to run it, and that's what cost him the touchdown when Bond hit him, and he ended up at the 1 foot line. He was indecisive. If he made the decision to get his head into the end zone, he'd have scored.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he's not a big game quarterback, so there's that too. You know,
right.
That's also haunting him.
He is fun to watch.
He's fun to watch, but you're right though.
Until it matters,
until he wins the big one, you know.
And that play, the play for the 2-point conversion, he's getting flushed to his left, and the throw is to his left, and he just feels like he feels so much back pressure coming, like he's about to get collapsed. And he just short arms the ball. I mean, it wasn't a bad throw. That was a horrible throw.
Yeah.
And the receiver was
Shakir,
three steps open.
We'd have killed Jalen Hurts if that was him.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
It didn't look like it flipped out of his hand either because of the wetness.
No, I think he just blew it.
Yeah. That's why he was so pissed at himself when he was walking off the field. Great job. Credit to the Fox cameras, because those guys just kept it on him the entire time. And I'm just waiting for it. And then he exploded. He just was so pissed off. I mean, at himself. But I'll also say this, and I doubt I would ever give Jalen Hurts this leniency or any Philadelphia quarterback, but because he's not our guy, he was absolutely shell-shocked. Josh Allen absolutely shell-shocked in that game. And that's not something that just sprung up in the moment. That's something the defense earned throughout that game to let him know every single time they're coming. And think about this. For the 11 pressures, you're talking about 5 sacks. Think about all the other times they at least made him think that there was pressure coming. Right. And he had to get rid of that football a little bit faster. Like that's a mind you know what by Vic Fangio and that defense. all the credit in the world. Like people will say, "Oh, the Eagles are lucky." Hell with that, man. To say they were lucky, exactly. They absolutely earned it by putting those thoughts in his head. Those monsters under his bed named Jalen Carter, baby, and Jalix Hunt doing their thing.
Yeah, well, Jalix Hunt on the one play where he gets Josh Allen to scramble and takes that huge loss.
19-yard loss.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the game by myself, and I verbally said out loud, "Boy, that is a dumb decision."
Yeah,
that just get rid of it.
That looked like the Josh Allen in his first playoff game against the Texans a bunch of years ago.
Wow.
Do you remember that game? He made some of the most boneheaded freaking decisions. It harkened back to that for me, where he was so indecisive, trying to make every play a big play, and it just blew up in his face.
Yeah, it's like he's always trying to make the 10-run home run. Mm-hmm. Not taking what is given to you. And I think that's for those guys like him, or the guy in Baltimore.
Yeah,
they're
Lamar.
so good athletic. Yeah, they're so good athletically. They can't fathom it. They just can't do something no matter what the situation, and they force it. Problem is that you're playing against the 1% of the 1% of the 1% in the world and the best players, and they can do that.
You're not at Wyoming anymore.
Yeah. You're not in Kansas anymore, Harry.
Yeah.
To go back on riding the defense, I can't help but to think of 2017 a little bit here. And granted, this is kind of pathetic when you got to think about a backup quarterback running things. And look, before Nick Foles won a Super Bowl here, that's all he was, backup quarterback. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you remember, they played the Raiders on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken, and they scored one offensive touchdown. It was the second to last game of the season. And I think they had another game where the offense struggled as well in 2017. And the question was, hey, Carson's done for the year. Everyone knew. We knew what happened in LA, obviously. But the defense was one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL. Like Jim Schwartz, everybody forgets because you get to the Super Bowl and Tom Brady puts up 38 on you,
Right.
But that defense was great. And I remember when Carson went down, I remember thinking, well, the Eagles could still make a playoff push because they're so ahead in the NFC. They could get home field advantage. The defense is that good. You could still at least get to the NFC Championship game, and with some luck, you can make it to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember people wanting to bench Nick Foles for Nate Sudfeld.
What?
And
you don't remember in week 16,
remember this?
By the way,
Suds, man.
Suds. Oh.
Who, by the way, I think was like 20 of 26 or something like that for the Cowboys against the Cowboys.
It's 6-0 loss.
Yeah, it was a 6-0 loss. Yeah, they didn't score a point in that game, but still, Nate Sudfeld ran the offense really well. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I remember at the end of the season, Nick Foles, when they had a press conference where he said the words, "I'm confident." I think it was 13 times. I'm confident. I'm still confident. I'm very confident, like that. And they get one huge break in the playoffs as an offense, and it was that ball that bounced off the knee of Keanu Neal, I think, into the hands of Torrey Smith. With
Atlanta?
Yep.
Yeah.
Torrey Smith himself even called that the luckiest play he's ever seen.
It was like the Immaculate Reception.
It was how he didn't intercept that ball, let alone just knock it down, is beyond me.
Yeah.
But it bounced up in the air. I think it was maybe it was Alshon Jeffrey, but I know Alshon Jeffrey also had the play down the sideline. They got the field goal before halftime.
Yeah.
And then that was a defensive win for the Eagles, though, because I think they only scored 16 points.
19.
At 19, was it 1916? Are you looking at it? 1910.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Wasn't Frenchie Fuqua picking up that ball?
Wow, Harry.
Yes.
And then the defense against the Vikings got them going in that NFC Championship game with the Patrick Robinson pick six.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so when you talk about a defense carrying the team, I'm like, this defense is great. Like, there's a lot of guys on this defense. You might even take over that 2017 team. But offensively speaking, am I really going to look at Jalen Hurts, a franchise quarterback, a Super Bowl MVP, a two-time conference champion, and say, just reach that bar? Because it's hard to do that when the offensive line isn't cooking, and it's hard to do that when your offensive coordinator is not an experienced Frank Reich. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was in 2017.
Hey, Frank's available for the playoffs, by the way.
crossed my mind.
Bring
Well,
them
don't
in.
forget, they also had to play in the divisional round that year and only beat Atlanta 15-10.
I thought it was 19-10.
19-10 against
the Raiders.
the Raiders.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was a regular
yeah.
season game.
Wait, what
Yeah.
was the Atlanta game?
15-10.
That was okay. So yeah,
15-10. Okay.
Yeah, so they squeaked by, and then
Yeah.
everything went to a whole new level, like you mentioned, when Patrick Robinson has the pick six at Lincoln Financial Field, and they rout the Minnesota Vikings 38-7.
Yeah.
I mean, the route was on right away. Foles threw for 352. They had Ajayi and Blunt, and Ertz had a big day. Alshon. Yeah.
It came alive. So if I can look at that, I mean, how do I not look at the Eagles offense, or at least attempt to, and say, well, maybe, even though the offensive line isn't playing at the end. Look, I understand you had Halapulavati Vaitai at left tackle for you for that run.
HPV, nice work there.
I do what I learned. I didn't learn that name for nothing. I'm going to be saying that name forever.
Good.
I know how many flashcards I had with that name? No.
You should name a dog that.
Halapulavati
Vaitai.
Vaitai.
Come. People will be like, huh?
Vaitai would be a cool name for a dog.
What's your dog's name?
would be kind
Vaitai.
Yeah.
Maybe like,
All right, I'll say why it's different.
Okay.
Because that year, you didn't have three great offensive minds as head coaches going in the playoffs. I mean, who was the coach for Atlanta?
at that time,
It was Dan Quinn. I think it was still. Oh no, was he the?
Well, Dan Quinn's a bum.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he was the head coach of Atlanta at the time. I think he was still in. I think he was in Dallas at that point.
Who was the coach for Minnesota?
I'm blanking.
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
look it up. Yeah, let me
If
look it
if
up.
it was anybody worth it, damn, you'd remember it, right?
Zimmer.
Well, yes, I
Zimmer?
think you might be right.
Yeah,
I think it
Yeah.
was Zimmer,
And he's
yeah.
a defensive coach.
yeah, he's a defensive
Yeah.
coach. Not
You
that
didn't-
day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, he was offensive
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna bother me now. Was it Quinn? I bet you it was still Dan Quinn,
it might.
or
have been.
he had been fired already.
That year, no, it was Dan Quinn. He was 10-6 that year.
Oh, the king of choking.
He stinks.
Yeah. And then
Good God.
for Minnesota that year, as you mentioned, it was Mike Zimmer. They went 13-3,
Right.
Okay,
and then obviously in New England. we
Yeah.
know the coach was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an easy way. Not that you need this for life, but an easy way to remember it was Mike Zimmer. Just a year later, he laughed at the Eagles for drafting Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson. So
Oh,
there we go.
he was right about that one.
Put
Yeah,
that one on the
wrong.
flashcards as well. So I will say, yeah, it is different, Harry. I agree, and it is because of the minds you have behind the scenes, if you will. Like Frank Reich and Doug Peterson bouncing things off each other are two former quarterbacks in the NFL that have, if you don't want to give them credit, they've worked with some pretty brilliant minds. So they might have picked up a thing or two along the line. So I'll go and cross my fingers that that's the way it's going to work for this team.
Well, Doug was really amenable to change, though, too, because when Foles came in, they really went to the RPO quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he coached to what he had.
Yeah, I remember talking about this with you, Harry, on the air. Didn't Doug mention at one point they went back to that 17-2 season where Foles threw like 17 touchdowns to 2 picks and
27-2, yeah.
27-2, right? Yeah,
yeah.
And they went back and looked at that and saw what made him successful that year and implemented that stuff. And you're talking late in the season. That was the Rams game when Carson got hurt. There was only 3 regular season games left. It was the Giants, the Raiders,
and
then the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then the 3 playoff games.
Yeah. You know who the quarterback was from Minnesota that day?
Kirk Cousins.
Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Wait, in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah. It was Case Keenum.
Wow.
I just pulled it up.
Cousins was already gone to Atlanta?
It was
No.
Cousins was in Washington.
He might not even have been there.
38-7 was the final. Yeah.
Well, no, that's
Kyle Rudolph caught a 25-yard pass from Case Keenum to open the scoring, and then the interception.
They went up
happened.
7-0.
Yeah.
wow. I have no recollection of that.
Case Keenum, baby.
Yeah.
He was 28 of 48 too. Now he had 2 picks. He had 2 picks.
All day too. They were behind.
Yeah,
He's
right.
crushing it.
James Lynch points out Sam Bradford was their starter, but he got hurt during the season.
Oh, Sammy Sleeves.
Sammy Sleeves was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect
Oh
for the
my
Chip Kelly
God,
system.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, the amount of
what
like 6 degrees of separation is insane.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because that was the year they
Daniel
traded.
back up there or something.
Wait, say that again, Jason.
Was Chase Daniel a backup there or something too? Is there another degree of separation here we can talk about?
There might have been. There might have. Wow, that is wild
Yeah.
to me. Yeah. So I still had that in my head as Kirk Cousins. Wow. I can remember a bounce off the knee of Keanu Neal.
Yes.
But I can't remember the starting
Right.
quarterback. Shows you how
Yeah.
useful my brain is.
It's crazy too. Like I almost forget about Alshon.
Yeah, me
when I
too.
think about that team, like I so forget about him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Ertz so much, and Alshon was the one who kind of came in and said, "I came here to win a Super Bowl." Like he kind of
He
brought
was
his
with the
swagger.
Bears for all his career. Before
Great
that,
numbers, and like the team never went anywhere, and then he came here. He said, "I came here to win," and everybody was kind of like, "Whoa, dude, settle down. You're coming to Philly. We never win. Like we've never won a Super Bowl, bro." You know.
I'm sorry. I'm now in a Case Keenum wormhole.
Are you in a wormhole right now?
I am. 98.3 passer rating that year. Damn.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year, runner up, ladies
Oh,
and
man.
gentlemen.
Jeez.
Wait,
Who was the winner?
runner-up?
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Foles really only played 3 good games. It
Yeah.
was the Giant game that he came in, the first game that he played well. Then he didn't play well in the Raider game, and he didn't play well against Atlanta, but he played
Right.
obviously very well against Minnesota, and then he did in the Super Bowl.
And he'll be immortal in
Yeah.
this town.
Yeah, he's on
those
the
4
statue
games.
for Philly.
Yep. Yep.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen won comeback player of the year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. All right. I'm tapped out. All right. When we come back,
Mike
we'll answer
Keenan, huh?
we'll
No.
answer the question on playing starters. To play or not to play? That is the question. Jason, would you like to do the prize
Yeah.
picks feature here?
Prize
All right.
picks.
That's all you, buddy. Take it away after this.
All righty, let me tell you about Prize Picks because this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or jumping into player projections for the first time, new year, new routines, try something new. And it can feel like a challenge when you try something new. But with Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. We love being right with high-pressure football matchups every weekend from here on out. Elite hoops action, college and pro. The action never slows down, and Prize Picks lets you stay in control. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app that makes watching sports even more exciting by letting you build lineups based on player projections. No drafts, no waiting. Just pick more or less and play your way. That's a really simple way to play. Getting started on Prize Picks, quick and simple. The app is super easy to navigate, which I know for myself and a lot of other people sometimes can be intimidating. It's made watching games more engaging, especially when following individual playoff performances. And the flexibility, it's awesome. Options like Flex Play, where you can still get paid if one pick misses of all your picks. The new early payouts feature, also a game changer if a player starts, but it starts out hot, but kind of cools off in the game. You can cash out before the game ends if you kind of see that coming. So download the Prize Pick app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
I believe I was in Minnesota that year, gentlemen, in
All of America?
2017. I've been there. I have been there. But I believe I was there the night Sam Bradford made his debut.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Is that a Sunday night football game?
I believe it was.
Alan
Sam
Chris?
Bradford played 2 games. Yeah.
Was that Mike DeRico at that time?
No. Yes, it was. I think that was his first year. I told you that story, right? He came down to the bar. Yeah. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm the new guy. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. What a guy.
I'll tell you what, man. It's Mike DeRico. I still love him. I think he's great.
I think he does a great job also. Yeah, wow. Bringing back the memories. All right, anyway. To play the starters, to not to play the starters. I think this is a no-brainer. You have an opportunity to get a better seed. You also need work as an offense. What are we even doing here, Harry? What are we doing?
Well, I mean, when you say play the starters, you playing all of them?
Well, here's my theory. The offense plays every single last one of them, no matter what's going on. What's that?
Cam Jurgens?
Every single last one of them.
Juergens has to get ready for the Pro Bowl.
That he earns so.
He needs
Ridiculous.
some time off.
Ridiculous. I'm playing every one of the
Stevie Wonder?
offenses, and then I am elevating every possible member of the defensive practice squad and giving my defensive starters the day off and telling my offense, go win a game, you clowns. That's what I'm doing.
You might lose.
You know what? Then guess what? They earned it. All right.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I don't love your plan.
Oh, draft.
Because if I'm gonna put the offense out there and maybe lose AJ Brown or lose Devontae Smith or lose Jordan Mailata or Goddard or Hurts even or Saquon,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to give them the best chance to win the game because I'm playing my practice squad defense, I don't know that I'm doing that.
I'm playing.
I'm only
Tanner.
taking risk if I'm playing to win.
I'm playing Tanner
You're a
McKee.
softy.
Tanner McKee can go beat them.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to start a full-blown quarterback controversy to take us right into the playoffs, as only we can.
So like
In the
McKee's going to
vein
go out
of-
and put up 38
McKee
points.
goes and puts up 34 points.
Yeah.
They win a 38-34 shootout. Tanner McKee with a
AJ
quarterback rating.
AJ and Devontae both go for over 100.
They carry him off the field on their shoulders.
In Nate Sudfeld fashion.
Tank Bigsby runs for $130. Everything's
Tank.
under center.
I like
These
the
are all
tank.
good ideas.
I do too.
I'm done. Oh, we saw another one, Mark.
What's that?
3rd and 8 on their own 25, and they give it to Shipley.
Yep.
It happened
Yes.
again. I mean, that discussion had to come up with Seth Joyner. I'd love to know what he thinks about the give-up runs on 3rd and long.
I teed him up for the 2nd and 12. I teed him up for the 2nd and 12, and he just wasn't even having it. Like he opened with a pretty great, like, steam coming out of his ears type of open.
Oh, yeah.
Where I just was like, hey, welcome in, and Seth, and just got the hell out of the way.
Yep.
You know,
Hand it off and run to the sideline.
pretty much, yeah. A long run though. I would have gotten the first down with this run. But yeah, he didn't focus in on that one. The one that we talked about a lot was the tight end screen with Smitty blocking for Dallas Goedert.
Oh.
Again, you just need to smack. The 2nd and 12, as I mentioned, and then just the zero creativity in play calling, opening up nothing for Jalen Hurts. That was pretty rough. But I do also want to say, tongue in cheek, obviously, I want the Eagles to do everything they can to win this game against the Commanders and put themselves in the best, excuse my Reed speak, best possible position to have success in the postseason. I'll say that. So I don't even think this is a question. You play the starters, all of them.
Well, you also have to have a monitor monitoring the Bears game, because if the Bears, go up 24-0 or something on the Lions, you got to pull your starters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're not losing that game.
If
Or
if
the
it
Lions
turns
go
out
up
you're not
24-0.
playing for anything.
Well, if the Lions go up 20, I mean, then you got to win. You got to win the Commanders game and to
Right.
get the 2 seed.
So when do the Commanders play? What time?
Same
4:25.
4:25. Oh,
Same time. They're going on the same time.
Yeah.
why can't they stagger this?
No, they don't. They don't
stuff?
want you to
Look at
know.
9 a.m. and we can just be done with it.
We now have a meaningful Week 18 for the first time in a while. There's a bunch of games that matter.
Yeah.
By
because
the
of
way-
positioning. You're right.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni did give a reason as to why he would rest his starters.
What do you say?
And it has nothing to even do with what the outcome is. He's talked about the benefit of another bye week, and getting your starters another bye week could benefit you more potentially than another home game.
What? They haven't played a second half all year.
Analytics must have told him that.
Sometimes I listen to the guy and I'm like, my brain
Yeah.
hurts. Is he done?
I know.
Ugh.
You're just coming to the party, Mark.
Does he realize his offense doesn't play a second half the season?
Yeah, exactly. His offense has had many bye weeks.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
My goodness.
Good Lord.
This
All right.
guy.
Oh, wait. Did I just? Oh, wait. No. James Lynch. I got to get this in here. James Lynch.
Yes.
Sometimes I just get to the point of Ask Madden.
Yeah.
I forgot
Not
about
bad.
that feature. I don't know what
Oh,
to do.
yeah. You just pick the formation and it gives you 3 options.
Yes.
I love that.
All right. Harry, I'm going to tee you up when we come back. I'm just going to say one name, and I'm going to let you loose, my friend. I'm going to let you loose. Quick blink of a break. This is Locked On Eagle Squad Show. And we're back. Harry,
Yes.
Cam Jurgens, your thoughts?
I've been thinking about this, and sometimes I just think that the Pro Bowl means nothing to me. It never has meant anything to me as a fan. Okay, let me get that out there. But I think at some point, the people that vote for this stuff, who is it, Mark? Do you know? Is it the other players? Is it who
Other
actually
players.
does it, or is
Other
it
players,
journalists?
But it's other players. But I know someone involved in the process from the NFL whose job it is to go around and actually get the votes. And Gunnar was actually telling me this story because it was the same person that we know. And players don't give a damn. They don't. A lot of players don't.
By the way,
fans vote too, but a lot of players don't give a damn because it's like, why should I put money in this other person's pocket? Like
Right.
that's the way that they'll think about it. So a lot of times the forms don't get filled out, and if they don't get, and sometimes they don't get filled out entirely. Sometimes they don't get filled out at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Sometimes guys are lazy and they'll just say, "Oh, who was it last year? Yeah, he's good. Fine, just do that."
Yeah.
And
Well,
obviously
that
was
that's
popularity.
sort of my point. Like, I think it's in some of these positions, and a center, although it's a very important position, it's kind of innocuous to the fans. It's not, nobody really knows who's a great center typically. And, until, Kelsey started to get a lot of fanfare in the latter years of his career. And I remember like John Madden would point out the offensive guards, who were really good because nobody could tell what a guard did typically if they're watching football. But Will Shields used to go every year from Kansas City, whether he had a good year or not, because it was like, well, yeah, it's Will Shields. He's the Pro Bowler. And I'm wondering if that what has already started with Cam Jurgens, because he's had one of his worst years. And I'm not saying it's all his fault because I think he's hurt. Or at least I hope he's hurt, because if he's not hurt, he stinks.
it's a perception. There's the perception that he's really good because, people that see the Eagles from afar don't see the warts up close. The voting is 3 different factions, all counting for a third.
Okay.
It's initial fan voting, where teams and teams will push players on their social media platforms to vote for them. Then you have the player voting, which I think there's some guys, I played with or against this guy in college. He's my buddy. We grew up in the same area. Whatever.
We have the same agent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's coach voting as well. And the coaches submit their ballots for the players.
Well, Sirianni probably voted for him.
20 times.
Nick probably voted for him. Yeah.
I mean, you wonder how much a coach votes for just his own players.
Yeah. Nick is harvesting ballots for Jurgens.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of election integrity when it comes to the Pro Bowl, it seems, Harry.
There's going to be an investigation, I heard.
Yeah, we should have oversight.
Yes.
But yeah, and a lot of times it is a reputational type thing. Like, I don't think players are locked in to get with players on teams that they don't play, ever.
Yeah.
Some guy that's playing this year in Arizona probably isn't really aware. He might not even know who Cam Jurgens is.
Right.
And a lot of players aren't fans.
Right.
Like, they don't watch football.
Right. They're just good at it.
It's a way to make a living.
Yeah.
Like John Wellborn, remember him, the offensive lineman?
He didn't like it at all.
He hated football.
Yeah.
He never he didn't even want to play in college.
Yeah.
But it got him free schooling.
I don't know if Todd Harriman's really loved football either, did he?
No, he liked hanging out with the boys.
Right.
He liked the club of football, but playing it, no.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys don't even. There's very few guys that we think like, they go home on their bye week and they're like on their couch all day eating potato chips and a hoagie and watching football
games.
like us. No, they're not like that.
I did go around and look at the biggest Pro Bowl snubs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had a center. I was looking specifically for that. I'm like, okay, who am I missing?
Right.
And it was like nobody would suggest. I was like, is the center position that bad in the NFL?
Yeah.
Is it a combination of it being that bad and I don't know, Cam Jurgens already getting the reputation of being the center of the Eagles' offensive line?
That took over for the great Kelsey.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And there's still obviously a playoff team. The Eagles, guys, like also, this is bananas to me, man. This is banana sandwich to me, okay? All the problems the Eagles have had this year, and we've watched every snap, all the problems, and the Eagles on Sunday could earn the 2nd seed in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is? I feel like I'm on
The
crazy
Eagles
pills.
defense could earn the second seed.
I get you. I get it, but it is what it is. Like this Eagles team, all the problems that they have had, they are right there. They're right there to get the
still be a
second
path
seed.
through Lincoln Financial Field to get to the Super Bowl.
Right, and there was last year, even. Before we move on, anything you guys want to unload before we go into this new year with the Eagles and their final regular season game?
I'll unload something. 2025 and kiss
Go for
my
it.
rear end.
Oh yeah,
Learned a lot in
Fair
2025.
enough.
yeah.
God bless you.
Was
You
not
ain't lying,
a
friend.
fun year at all for
Yeah.
me, even though the Eagles could lock up the second seed. Flyers are improved, whatever. So 2025 and kiss my butt. I learned a lot in that year, but I'm ready to flip the calendar to 26.
All right, Harry.
All right, I'm ready to move to Florida.
There you go. There you go.
Play 18 holes, 18 more holes. I got to send you the bid, Harry, that Robin Williams did on the invention of golf.
Oh yeah, I've seen it a million times.
Oh,
it's
damn
great.
funny.
It's
We're going to do this once. We're going to do it 18 times.
Yeah, Harry's next show will be from a golf cart in Florida.
Yeah,
Is that a palm tree?
exactly. Yes, I do in my front yard.
Yeah, they don't have acorns there either, Mark.
I'll send you the picture.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I'll send you the picture.
I'll say this: let the last of Kevin Patullo calling plays for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2025, and hopefully very early 2026 as well. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Marc Farzetta. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Locked On Eagles YouTube channel, where you can check out us for Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Yous guys will be on after the 425 kickoff right here on Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Louis DiBiase as well every day on Locked On Eagles as well. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys next week. You guys will be on Sunday after the game. You guys will talk then. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your 2025. And yes, of course, Happy New Year. See you guys later. Bye.